A little bit of clouds and feeling a little gloomy outside for your holiday weekend. Not to worry so much. Temperature-wise, it's actually pretty nice. A bit cooler than what we normally are at for this time of year. 81 right now out of the Waco Airport, 77 in Temple, Killeen, down to 70 degrees. Well, why is it so much cooler there than most other places? Well, we have a little bit of rain. Basically, we have this small little trough kind of hanging off a much larger system. It's a dry line. It's out to the west, right near the border of Texas and New Mexico. So we are starting to see a lot more thunderstorm activity out there. You can see the severe thunderstorm watch box is extending all the way into West Texas and New Mexico as a result. It's going to stay there for the next couple of days and slowly try to bring a couple of showers and some thunderstorms into the I-35 corridor. And right now it is mildly successful at doing so. Just again, a little bit of shower activity. We did see a couple of thunderstorms making their way from Mills into Lampasas County a bit earlier today, but they were well below any type of severe limits. Now, as we head into the overnight, most of this should begin to dissipate quite a bit, leaving us under partly cloudy skies. But with all the excess moisture in the atmosphere, we're not going to be cooling down all that much. So expect a relatively muggy night with those high 60s staying in the forecast. Now, how about your Sunday? Maybe you want to head out to the golf course. You know what? Not a bad day to do so. The earlier, the better. We are expecting a couple of those isolated showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two during the later parts of the afternoon, but overall temperatures should stay in the low 80s as a result. Here's what I got for you over the next 48 hours. Early on Sunday morning, it looks relatively clear. We don't have a whole lot of activity. But by the time we go into the afternoon, I start to see a little bit more pop-up showers, most of which kind of staying out to the southwest and maybe along the I-45 corridor, just outside the viewing area. But I'm not expecting anything too widespread. I got about 20% coverage throughout the day for Sunday. Memorial Day, well, we start to see a little bit more activity. Again, as that westerly system keeps giving us a little bit of those showers out to the far west, well, we start to see a little bit more thunderstorm activity, some of which could easily pop up coming up from south to north during the later parts of Monday into Monday evening. Now, what about severe weather outlook? Again, that's going to stay well out to the western part of the state, while much of I-35 and west, well, we're just under that general thunderstorm risk. But just remember the rule: when thunder roars, go indoors, and you guys should be on the safe side. Now, over the next 48 hours, how about rainfall? Well, most of the western regions, again, they're going to see the most amount, anywhere from a few tenths to maybe half, or if not 1 inch in terms of rainfall. You know what? Hey, the western areas is where the drought is the worst. So we are going to expect to see a little bit better conditions coming up for our next drought monitor. Of course, Memorial Day, we are going to expect to see some of those isolated storms, but they're going to be short-lived, so it shouldn't affect too much of your evening plans. But when you start to see a little bit more shower activity, you do start to see those temperatures going down a little bit, down to about 80 degrees on Monday, so that's certainly nice. Then it starts to warm right back up as those storm chances go back down. Going back up to the mid to upper 80s as we approach the end of next week, and possibly even reaching that 90-degree mark heading into next weekend. Maybe a little sprinkle here and there, but at least the severe risks are getting close to done. I mean, we're heading into the later parts of the spring into early summer. Get ready to start seeing those triple digits sooner than you think.